at this point, it's going to kind of like be a thing of me touching hit the live button. Have this. God, let's shut that. Hi, everybody. So today I put on my fur coat because I was really excited to buy this at a thrift store. And I got to wear it one time to my friend Aubrey's wedding. And then we all got quarantined. And then it's going to be like summer. So I won't have a chance to wear it until next winter. Plus, today's drink is one that's not very intensive labor. I usually like to have my arms pretty free, but this should work, generally speaking. So, I told you guys we were going to start hitting on some whiskey drinks, and this is one that my sister-in-law and I like to make a lot in the summer. We enjoy a good mint julep, and it's a really simple drink, but it's really overlooked. But anything, of course, that throws that mint in is going to be one we can totally be behind. And it was easy because I had the mint from the other day, and so I can just use that shit. So here's what we're going to do. One of the key factors in this drink, and it's going to come up probably in the next whiskey one, is the muddling. And muddling is amazing if you do it right. You get a lot of those fancy ass artisanal people that like, you know, oh, you don't want to like bruise it. I just saw one for the masterclass. He was like, you don't want to like mess it up. You just want to like get it going. It's not good. You want the aroma. It's mint. It smells when you grow it. You don't have to beat it over your hand. That's just to look fancy. So what we're going to do is take, by the way, difficult as shit to remember everything I need to put in this and get it in one spot, because I figured, you know, you guys don't want to follow me as I go back and forth to the fridge. So, rocks glass. Normal. I've had these for, I probably bought this at a thrift store. So, you're going to take your regular rocks glass. So what you're going to do, you're going to take some mint, regular mint. We're just going to tear the whole leaves off. Don't get fancy. You don't need to chop it. It doesn't need to be chiffonade. You don't have to really do anything with this. This is just really for the sake of jarring up your garbage disposal. So you're going to take some mint leaves right there. Okay. Now we're going to add some sugar. So this is going to be, you know, there's different ways to do this. You could do simple syrup on this one that we used before, the Edgar sugar water. Or you can do what I do and use confectioner's sugar. I would not use regular granulated sugar because it's not going to dissolve appropriately. So I have regular powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm going to put probably about 1.5 tablespoons in there. We're going to get that nice and in there, and then we're going to take just a little bit of water, just to moisten it, enough so that we've got some fine lubrication in there. And you're going to take a muddler. Some muddlers are very smooth on the bottom. Some are like this, and they've just really got stuff that could tear you a new asshole if you wanted to. It's got like some traction to it. I like the traction just because it's easier for me. So this is where the work comes in. You're just going to take this, and I don't know if I'm really showing it very good. You just kind of press down and turn in there. And all we're really doing is we're kind of dissolving that sugar, and we're just beating the shit out of that mint right now. And that's just what's putting that base in. So we're making this really nice sugar mint water here at the bottom. And every time you really just kind of macerate these mint leaves, they're just going to release that yummy, yummy mintiness into your drink. And you just kind of end up with some like weird pulpy mint stuff at the bottom. You see some sugar there that we need to do together. So there you go. Now once you have that, you're going to want your whiskey or your bourbon, whatever you'd like to prefer to call it. I have 2 on tap right now. I've got my wonderful Made distilled in El Dorado County, my gift of the White Devil whiskey. And then I also have Laura's very, very expensive, well, not very, very expensive, but pretty expensive Kentucky bourbon. The difference between 2 like this is not a moonshine. Don't get mistaken, but moonshines are delicious. And this is going to have a lot less of that smoky, you know, wood barrel flavor to it. It's going to be a little bit more crisp, a little bit more clean, because really the only reason you have this caramel color is from the aged oak barrels. But just because I want to be a dick, because she said don't use my whiskey, I'm going to use that bitch's whiskey. So normally I would Don't look at me like that, Laura. I'm gonna drink this, don't worry. I won't dump it down the sink. So normally, like I said, I normally use like that shot glass or something. I'm just gonna dump it in because I've got that natural ability. So you're gonna wanna throw about a shot of whiskey in it, depending on the size of your glass, maybe 2 shots if you're feeling a little bit frisky. That's up to you. The reason why I'm mixing this prior to putting anything else into it is because I really want to make sure that that whiskey gets in there, and I don't want it to not distribute well with the ice. So now we're going to take our ice, red solo cup, and load that bastard up with ice. And then here's the fun part. The only other thing that goes in this is water. So think of it as your like whiskey and water with a little oomph on it. And all that really does is just kind of obviously dilute without causing too much injury to it. So I've poured that water in it, and it's really brought it up so you can stir it from here if you want a little bit more. Sometimes I don't. I just leave this as it is, and sometimes it leaves a nice sludge at the bottom so that I can easily refill the same cup and maybe not have to go through all the many steps. I can just pour some more whiskey in it, pour some more water in it, call it good, and then maybe I only have to go through this process every, second drink or so. So here you go. We've got our mint julep ready for the Kentucky races in my fur coat. So what you've got there is you've got your mint leaves. You're going to muddle those up with some powdered sugar. Pour in with some water, obviously, to get it moving. Put in your shot of whiskey. Put in your ice. Fill it up with water. That is nice. I'd almost say that could be a little bit mintier, but I bet you if I gave this a good stir, it would probably do it. It's really sweet. If I was depending on who I was making this for, I may even dial back the sweetness a little bit, but this is good enough for me on a Tuesday afternoon during quarantine, working from home. That's nice bourbon. Anyways, that's what I have for today, and it looks like everybody's standing out of my way, and the cat didn't jump up on the table. Gus isn't even here, so I'm my sidekick. Ryan's hiding outside. I think he's afraid. And that's all I've got for you today. So I think tomorrow we are going to explore more whiskey. I'm thinking tomorrow is going to be old-fashioned. So look for that. It's going to be another rocks glass. It's going to be more ice. It's going to be more muddling. Muddling for everyone. All right, guys. Cheers to you. Have a great afternoon. I'm going to go get on a Zoom call and meet with all my fellow graduates from my CBO class. See you guys tomorrow.